Twitch for me because sometimes it takes forever for mine to come up. Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, everybody, welcome to a new podcast that we're doing called Binge or Cringe with Los Muchachos, and that would be us, me, Fred, and my co-host, Kendall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that me when
Oh,
I'm supposed to introduce myself? I thought you were going to be introducing me. I was going to be like coming out, busting out the closet, bright lights and everything.
well, I was hoping you'd introduce yourself, but I will introduce him, Kendall, my co-host. You might know us predominantly from our awesome other podcasts that we do, Discs and Chips, where we talk about tech and stuff like that. And we decided that you know what, we wanted to branch out and do some pop culture TV, review TV shows, movies, maybe a video game here or there every once in a while on here, uh, or maybe do another podcast for the video game. We don't know yet. You know, the world is our oyster, as they say. But as of right now, we've been wanting to review movies and TV shows and things like that. Cause we watch a lot of stuff too. We're into the pop culture scene. You would say so, right, Kendall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so to start it off, what we want to do in Cringe or Binge is we want to review a series right now. A really good series, a series that I really enjoyed, I really liked, but we're going to break it down episode by episode because content, that's why. And we're going to make you guys listen to everything we have to say. So we're reviewing on Cringe or Binge episode 1 of The Witcher.
Yep. So, when was the last time you watched The Witcher?
When it first came out, I binged the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But
And that's the great thing about Netflix because unlike Disney Plus, we don't have to wait week for week. As soon as it came out, it was just straight through. We good. Let's watch it. And then we did.
We'll probably do an overview at the end of Cringe or Binge because it's only, 8 episodes, that series?
Yep.
Once we get to the 8th episode, we'll tell you the whole thing, but let's roll with episode 1 of The Witcher. All right. Episode 1, we get to meet our titular main character, the spider-looking thing, the Kikimora.
Mm-hmm.
This show revolves around the Kikimora. It's an amazing thing. It's a spider-looking thing. I'm just kidding. We meet our titular character, Geralt of Rivia. Now, obviously, this is kind of near and dear to a lot of us because you've obviously most likely played the video games, the Witcher video games. And
Yep.
that's... I mean, I got to play the third one. I never got to play the first or second one. I don't know if you played those, Kendall, but...
I played a little bit of the first one. I haven't touched the second one, and completely destroyed the third one.
Yeah, the third one is crazy. I don't think I finished passing it yet. I mean, because I get to a certain point and I started over for a second time. Just don't even know why I had to start it over. But I started it over and then I went back and... Dude, it's so fun, though. Like, it's such a fun game. It's big,
Mm-hmm.
expansive. For $60 when it came out, I'm going to tell you, that is a game that's far exceeds most $60 games.
Right?
Like, in content-wise. Like, I mean, they said open world. I mean, that shit is open as hell. It's a lot. But with that, that's just a little backstory on that, let's go to the first episode. What did you think?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Especially, it's like it just kind of jumps you right into it. When then it's in the swamp, it seems like everything's all calm and quiet, and then all of a sudden, here comes Geralt and the Kikimora out of the goddamn swamp.
Yeah.
It's fucking going at it.
Right? It's exciting. You know what? I liked it because it gives you a little bit of excitement. It kind of gives you a little taste of what you're going to get. In that first scene, you kind of get a little taste of, like, this is how it's going to go for the rest. Because there's excitement, but at the same time, after Geralt kind of calms down a little bit, you kind of get this kind of his soothing voice when he's about to kill that deer. Because even though it's not that soothing, I'll tell you that much. It's just this. It's really cool. And then the fight with the Kikimora is, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it gives you a lot because you get to see Geralt with his eyes changed, so he took his potions already. Obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, you know it if you've played the games. I mean, if you're first time watching the show, it's probably wondering like, well, what the hell's going on? Why do his eyes look black? Why does it look like kind of veiny in the eye area and stuff? But it kind of gives you a little taste of what you're gonna expect, what you're gonna see right off the bat. This is a show with monsters, magic, and all that stuff. That's what I felt like when I saw that part, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yep.
And then as soon as he finally gets done killing the Kikimora, and then gets out of the water and just looks at the deer who had his hind leg bit and everything, it's just like, just today is not your day, is it?
Yeah, and in that way, I like when I see it after I've seen it all, and I go back and watch it again. I feel that he killed the deer out of like mercy when he was talking to it, because with its hind leg all messed up, it was gonna probably starve to death anyways. It couldn't move, so he just did the next best thing and took it out. But at the same time, a couple scenes later, you find out that he eats the deer, which is cool because at least he didn't kill it and just leave it there.
Man, can't let it go to waste.
Nope, he is a hunter through and through. Now, in the next scene, you see him walk into town, and then you kind of get a feel for like the time period of the place. Maybe a little bit more medieval, you could say, or something like that. The town folk are all there, so that's when he meets the girl.
Renfrey.
Yes, Renfrey. And at first, you don't know her name. She just kind of stands out, being nice to him. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're just she's just being such a nice girl. I wonder why. Maybe she's just cool and chill. But at the same time, it makes you wonder, like, was there an alternate reason for her to treat him so well, to treat him so nice?
And if anyone's ever played the Witcher games, you would know there's always an alternative reason to be
exactly. Well, because you see it right away. The town folk want to mess him up.
Yeah.
Like you see
and
it.
then it's like the tavern keeper is like denying him like information and service,
all kinds of stuff. And then, it made me think right away when I saw it the first time that there was something up with that girl, because she started asking for stuff, and then all of a sudden, he's getting what she wants. Like when she goes, "Hey, give him something to drink," or give him, he asked for this or that, and then he calms down the town folk from like fighting him. So I was like, well, who is this girl? I mean, because you would think if it was like a back in the day thing, and it was those times, and there was that those men would have beat that woman, right? Unless she's important, and then you don't. But yes,
which obviously she was important because they didn't do anything. They just
obviously
listened to her, and then they're all like, "All right, my bad."
Yeah. It's almost like a whatever you say, boss. So then he proceeds to find the little girl. What was that girl's name again?
It starts with an M. It's like Milka, Mikra.
Milkra, like milk or something. I don't know, something like that. And then she tells him where he can go sell the Kikimora. And that's when you get your first look at the wizards or witches, wizards, whatever. But that's like your first the first time you get to see him. What was this, Arion or Aaron? What was his name? Aaron?
Damn, Strikerboard?
Oh, is that what his name is? Strikerboard? Okay, there we go.
The wizard?
The wizard, yeah. What I liked was that you get to see titties right off the bat. All right, no, I'm just playing. No, what was cool was that
everyone likes titties.
Everybody loves it. No, but I'm saying what was exciting was that when you walk in, you think it's this whole town and this whole stuff, but then it just turns out to be like what you
an
call
illusion.
It? Yeah, it's all his magic. None of it's real, and so like it was crazy because as you, the viewer, watching it, you think like, man, this is an amazing land. This is an amazing place. This is all cool. This is dope. And then Geralt's pretty much the guy who lets you, the viewer, know that this is all fake. That none of it's real. That the women walking around, that the fruit that he's holding, all that stuff, all of it's just an illusion that he makes to make himself feel better for being in this rundown town. I thought that was wild.
And to pass the time from hiding.
Well, yeah. But I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice way they did it. And then after that, don't we bounce off to the a king and queen over there? With a I don't know, a young girl that just seems to be, I don't know, she might be important later on. Depends how you see it. Yeah. You go meet Siri and her was it grandma and her husband. Now, what what I liked, but I still found kind of weird. What I liked was that like you're getting introduced to these people, but what I always found weird was the bouncing back and forth. You don't realize it
Oh
right
yeah,
away, but it's a lot of bouncing back and forth. Now, I'm not saying that that makes that a bad series or anything like that, but it does. I know
it
for
definitely does cause a lot of confusion.
yes, it does. Because at one point you're like, do are they all in the same? At first you think they're in the same timeline. I'll be honest, that's how I felt when I first saw it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, these guys are going through this linear path, and I go, but it's all weird because everybody's going back and forth, in a weird way with this young girl, and then Geralt, and it's like, but as time goes on, you do realize that it's not the same timeline. But but the most important parts of that is they start to get attacked by what is it, Nilfgaard?
Yep.
And that's what I feel like that's what starts the biggest chain of events for Geralt and Ciri to start going on their conjoined path at that point to start meeting each other.
Definitely.
Obviously, there's other stuff that we're going to talk about in other episodes that starts to wrap other stuff around together and bring things, you know, together. But the fighting scene that they had when they're going to battle was fucking dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really really good fight. Where you see them both on the mountainsides and then they just come down to attack. It was nuts, dude. I really liked it. People getting stabbed left
Man,
and right, blood flying here and there. That's fucking sick.
yeah, they had everything. They had like small scale fights. They had the one on one
Yeah,
at the start with Witcher and the Kikimora,
yeah,
and then now they have mass scale armies
yeah.
between Sintra and Nilfgaard.
Right. And then even Ciri has her own moments with the Nilfgaard, the knight that's coming after her.
Mm-hmm.
You see them fight, and then they have like where she starts to scream and she starts to show off her own abilities. I mean, obviously that's a little farther down the episode, but everybody has their own time and their own moment of seeing of fighting and of their own stuff to do, which keeps it cool. You never lose your moment of everybody kind of having their time to shine. But that's what's
Yep.
really awesome. And
And
then
then, of course, in proper Geralt fashion, he also goes
yeah,
in the episode as well.
because you can't have an episode without him, doing his getting his kicks and jollies, I guess you can say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the first episode, so I mean that we don't want to break down everything, and give you like obviously the episode's been out, you guys can watch it. We just kind of glossing over some of the more I guess important stuff, kind of important scenes that we feel. Now, as an episode, what did you think? Was it good enough? Was it bad? Did it need work?
I thought it was a great first episode because it kind of covered all the bases of everything. It like, especially like, because in the town or whatever in Blaviken,
Yeah,
it covers Geralt versus like hordes, a few guys, and then one on one.
yeah.
Then also covers him like hunting a monster and what he looks like when this potion's activated and all that other
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. I felt the same thing. I like it. I like it as the first episode. I think it's good because you don't get too much exposition, like just told to you. Just like how sometimes you'll have a voiceover and the town is this and this is that and blah blah. Like they like kind of explain it to you, so you can just kind of move along. If not, this kind of takes you for that ride with him, and as you see
Mm-hmm.
all these things kind of going on, it's kind of told to you by seeing and by hearing him and their interactions that they have, instead of just kind of blatantly have a what you call it, like a voiceover tell you like, and this is this town and these are these characters and this is why you should be important or this is why you should know. You know who's important and you know who needs to be there and you know what's going on because they show up
Yeah.
when they need to be there, and then they pretty much there's an explanation there. That's why I enjoyed it, dude. I really did like it. I was never big. I'll be honest. I was never big like a Game of Thrones fan. I mean, I never really watched any of the episodes. I'll be honest. I know some people did, and I don't know if this show was would have been any good to them. You know, because they might have liked Game of Thrones, might like this one. I'm not sure how that works. All I know is that I saw this episode. I think Henry Cavill did a really good job being Geralt.
Oh, absolutely perfect,
Yeah,
Geralt.
I think
Perfect. Every sense of the word.
exactly. I think they did a great job. I think it turned out well. Now, for the first episode, I feel like maybe there's a lot. It's what, like an hour long episode.
Yeah, they're basically each episode an
Each
hour
episode an hour
long
long.
episode, so
So yeah, so there's gonna be 8 episodes we're gonna do. It's about 8 hours worth of stuff to watch. But after the first episode, it starts to kind of steamroll more and more and more. By the time you get to the second, the third episode, you become really invested in the story.
and also just keep in mind that the timelines do bounce around. Like
A
at
lot.
one moment it'll be current, and then it'll be past, and it'll be
Okay.
like super past, and then
Yeah.
it'll be like it goes back and forth, and it doesn't give any like warnings
No.
or any notices and subtitles or anything like that.
You don't realize
to
that you're in the
explain them.
past. You won't realize that you're in the past or you're in the present or stuff till maybe another scene later, or when once you start figuring out that Siri would be what you would consider your present, your Geralt and Yennefer would be what considered your past, and then them apart is their past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll start to figure that stuff out as you kind of realize, like, almost you kind of figure out where your time frame is depending on what's going on. But it seems to get by the last episode you'll kind of get on track, and like I said, we'll cover those things as we start to come to them. But I mean, what do you is there anything else that you want to add, or anything else that you feel on that stuff?
For those who are worried about the Witcher signs, they're in there too. He like in that episode specifically, he uses Ard and I believe Yurden or no Axie.
Mm.
So
yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it without, like, because I don't want to give it too much away when we're doing this stuff. Like, I want people to be able to actually go in with some information, but still be able to go in and kind of
be able to enjoy it themselves.
Be able to enjoy themselves, yeah, without too many spoilers. But I think it is really well done for the first episode. There is a lot that you have to take into account. Like, there's a lot of information you got to take in with The Witcher, like, to get you just up to speed. I mean, there is a lot. And if you ever did, if I can give anybody a tip, maybe play some of the video games or something, or see some of the lore before you go watch the show. It'll really help you understand a lot more what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, these podcasts aren't meant to be long, and this is our first one, and we really appreciate what you guys are doing for listening to us. But I'm gonna have to ask, Kendall, with the first episode, right? We're just judging this one episode. Is this cringeworthy or is this binge-worthy?
Binge-worthy. Straight up binge it. If you still haven't seen the Witcher series, don't hold off. Watch it.
Yeah, they're already working on season 2. So that's always going to be exciting. So this show is going to go somewhere. But yeah, I agree. It may have some faults for the first episode. There may be a few weird things that you might like, but I think for being a TV like a Netflix series show, I believe the graphics and the 3D stuff that they do with the monsters and things like that look great. Fight scenes are amazing. They don't skimp out on anything. The clothing, the armor, the stuff, everything looks like period correct and right. I don't know what period they're going for, but what I'm saying is, like, period correct for the show. Like, everything looks like it fits right. Nothing looks out of place. So I think that's why I would agree. I think it's one of those, you should binge the show, you should watch it, and then after you do, come and leave a comment. Come and leave a comment. Come and let us know what you think of the first episode. Like I said, we're going to break this down every week. We're going to try to maybe pick today, Friday, or maybe Saturday. I don't know. We're going to go and try to pick every episode, and then on another day we might throw in a special movie or something just to do a one-off. But from here on out, we're gonna be doing The Witcher. We've got 7 more episodes to go. We're only gonna get better from here, and I just want to say, well, thanks for listening. That was our breakdown of that. And anything else you want to add, Kendall?
Nope, that's about it.
Cool. Well,
go watch The Witcher.
Yeah, go watch The Witcher. It's on Netflix. Most people have Netflix. So it's on there, and you can watch it if you're already paying for it. And if not, ask your buddy or your family member or a friend or somebody who has significant other who has a Netflix account. Jump on it, watch it with them. But with that, thank you for watching Binge or Cringe, our first episode. And we'll be back next week with episode 2 of the podcast of episode 2 of The Witcher. Till then, well, thank you for listening, and later, guys.
Later.
All right.